Wow, where do I begin? I have so much to say, so much to share, and I'm hoping that at some point in time I engage enough of you that you send in questions and we can use those as topics for these little tapes, recordings, videos for Learning for Love. I believe that education and love will help heal the world, and let's start here. Let's start somewhere. So where do I begin? There's so much to cover. And I asked Hashem, God, where do I begin? There's so much. So he said in his infinite wisdom, how about, hello, my name is Lori Michelle. So I guess that's where I'll begin. My story, the Lori story. I didn't always have this ability to hear language and English and souls and Hashem, God speaking to me like it is now. This occurred 7 years ago. I had an awakening in April of 2009. But going back to the very beginning, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, to a Jewish family, Jewish parents, and had a very uneventful childhood that I can remember. It's just normal, very normal, poor family. And eventually my father came into money and started earning good money, and we bought our first house in New Jersey. And we moved to New Jersey when I was 7 years old. And I grew up in New Jersey, so I'm really a Jersey girl at heart. But from the time I was very, very young, as far back as I can remember, I had a very, very strong faith in God, and I used to pray in my own way every day. Every day I would thank God for everything I had and ask Him to please protect and bless my whole family and all the people I loved. And I would do this every single day. And I imagined that I was being watched. But it was more than that. I felt I was being watched, and I used to wake up at least once a month or every few weeks with a feeling of buzzing and vibrations and feeling that someone was around me. Someone was sitting on the bed and someone was whispering in my ear. And I used to get so upset and so scared, and I would shush the feeling away. And I used to hide under my covers, and I never really liked it or embraced it. And then I grew older and it never went away. It was part of my existence. I would get messages, I would have these very prophetic dreams, and I never really embraced it. And in my 20s, I met someone who told me that one day I would embrace it, and I would join together with people around the world. And he used the number 40, I don't know why, but 40 people around the world who would be like me, would get together at a time when the world needed healing, and we would work together and use our gifts to heal the world. And I thought, I was 21 at the time, and I thought, what? What's that? And I never gave it much thought. It occurred to me once in a while, and I let it go. I wasn't religious growing up, and I had a very secular upbringing. We were not kosher. We didn't observe any Jewish law or observance. My brothers were bar mitzvahed, but I did not have a bat mitzvah. I went to Hebrew school for a few years and was given the option to drop out, so I did. It was too much work. I was in school and I really hated Hebrew school. My knowledge of Judaism came from the movies, Charlton Heston and the Ten Commandments. And that's very similar to what I believe most Jewish people in America believe and get their education from: the movies, from hearsay. They don't follow any practice, they don't read, they don't learn. They're secular Jews, and they're good people, and they don't see a need. Fast forward to getting married. I married a Jewish man. I decided I wanted to have a Jewish life, and I married a Jewish man, and we had 3 Jewish children. And I began to teach them the Jewish ways, but really didn't know the Jewish ways myself. I just felt very connected to God always and very spiritual. So that to me was good enough until much later when I discovered I was going deaf. And that opened a new chapter of my life that changed everything. It was a game changer. I was losing my hearing in my 40s, and by the time I was in my late 40s, I discovered that I was going deaf. And I reached for God in a way that I had never reached for him before. You see, I was the breadwinner of a family of 5, and we had the all-American life, and we had 3 great kids who were heading to college, and I was petrified that I suddenly wouldn't be able to work and earn what I had been earning, and how was I going to take care of my family? So I reached to Hashem in deep, deep prayer, and in April of 2009, April 7th to be exact, I woke up to a male voice telling me, go get pen and paper and start writing this down. And I looked around the room and I heard it again. And the male voice said, I said, go get pen and paper and start writing this down. So I played along. Now I see I'm at 6 minutes, so that's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be what happened next. So here I am. Hello, I'm Lori Michelle, and I hope you will come back and listen and learn for love. Peace.